Hi guys, welcome back to brand new season of For All Mankind. We have finished all of season 1. The end of the season finale was very explosive, but we've kind of got everybody back safely. Ed is back and has been relieved by, oh god, I've forgotten her name. Oops. Gordy is back with Tracy, and with the way that this show has presented itself, I'm expecting a bit of a time jump for him to tell the story here as we go into season 2, but I have absolutely no idea. Best way is to go and watch it. So let's dive into episode 1 and see where we end up. Reagan.
That our nation has passed its zenith. They expect you to tell your children that the American people no longer have the will to cope with their problems. We must go forth from here united, determined. There is no substitute for victory.
Reagan wins. There we go. God knows now. N3 rocket.
The administration announced that it was withdrawing the United States from the Salt Fund Treaty.
Test tube baby was born today in the United Kingdom.
Focusing of resources in the ongoing.
I'm just concentrating on what's happening now. Thatcher. Jesus, we're moving on a lot here. Yeah, we're going to end up at. Who shot JR? Fucking hell. John Lennon assassination.
Leader of the Soviet Union has died. Yuri Andropov become the next premier of the Soviet
Tootsie, a lot of this is the same.
In honor of the fictional starship and television series
Star Trek.
Danger grows greater with each passing day. Soviet strategic missiles are larger, more numerous.
Chernobyl's probably coming if that happens in this alternate universe. This is going to be an interesting concept for me because everything that it showed, there's a few little things like International Space Treaty and all of that that's slightly different. A lot of the history is the same. However, if we're moving into the 80s, if we're moving in towards the mid-80s, we're going to be fast approaching 1986 and the Chernobyl disaster, which helped pretty much end up making the Soviet Union fall. And this show is all about Russia's determination and impeccable achievements to be first over and above America. So where we go with this, I don't know.
We who have thrown the windows of our souls open to the sun.
Why are we going to the dark
highest
side?
hill in the sky, where we have built a city that will bring the light of freedom to the world.
Shouldn't we have like a bigger... Yes, we have. Oh my god, look at that! We've got a fucking colony. 1983 Jamestown.
Please. Tough to keep a secret up here.
Look, Senator Towers on the Appropriations Committee.
I know.
Live video, call a feed now.
Idea.
I'm staying inside this time.
2 weeks of darkness and you don't want to see the sun come up?
I've seen it more times than I can remember.
Expanded the base. They've got a crew up here. She's heading home for the last time. Damn, this is so much part of our history. So many crew have we got up here? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them? Not in this manner.
Mark, I have a watch, Wubbo. I swear to God, Wubbo, you spend more time looking through that camera than you do actually looking at the moon.
This is Jamestown Actual.
Okay, people, 10 seconds.
I like the using the military term now, actual. Have they been taken over by the military at this point? Because I've not heard them say that before. I like how they're lingering on this. Damn. Just the power and the wonder of the universe. Something man was probably never meant to see. Or woman.
Wubbo, stop staring at that screen.
It could be not that far away, but we're not focused on the space race much anymore, are we? Cool intro though.
morning, Miss Madison.
Morning.
She has her own secretary
One from
now.
your cousin Adelaide. Your Aunt Hildy got through her surgery without any complications and is expected to make a full recovery. Skylab is starting shift 2. Their plan of the day is devoted to more solar observations with the Apollo telescope mount. DoD-Com just completed their ASAT test over the Pacific Missile Range. General Bradford's probably getting preliminary test results right now.
I don't know whether they're taking over or it's...
Columbia remains on station in lunar orbit.
Okay.
Beagle was scheduled to roll out to pad 39C today, but there's a report on some issues in her main engine turbo pumps, which might delay her launch date by a week or two. Atlantis, Victoria, and Constitution are still in OMDP in Palmdale.
What about Pathfinder's thermal tile inspection report?
We're expecting the official report by digital mail by end of day, but the word is she's
Like
asked to find
digital
out.
mail? You mean email?
Early data suggest there could be significant deposits of lithium.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Notice in your inbox and a ghost copy
Notified
in
the
your email.
Be
Soviets.
sure notice the claim is transmitted to the State Department for delivery to the Soviet embassy. There's a new
There's too much going on.
The state wants to deliver.
Slow the fuck down. I can't take any of this in. She's saying too much shit that we don't know has happened because so many years have passed. Skylab, military, freaking polar launches, all their terminals and everything have been updated there. In there, I can see the new digital equipment. Oh man, this is going to take a bit of you. They're kind of throwing us into the fucking deep end here.
You know, I can get you a better printer.
Yeah, can you get the Pentagon to approve in less than a year?
Oh, capitalism. That works. How'd the test go?
Dot matrix printer.
30 pages of data. All to say we missed.
So who's in charge now then?
Oh, Army Air Force tickets at the 50-yard line. What's it gonna cost me?
What are you after?
They're a gift.
Yeah, of course they are.
And maybe also free up some space for a couple of polar launches from Vandenberg.
Well, I can clear the Kentucky to land at Edwards, but you know the Pentagon really doesn't like having unsecured vehicles and crews at Vandenberg.
I'll tell the crews to wear blindfolds so they don't see anything they're not supposed to.
I'm 15 minutes into this, having a bloody clue what they're talking about.
What else? My hair's gonna smell like chili for a week.
Good morning, Miss Madison.
Good morning, ma'am.
Gary, Helena.
God, she hates me.
No idea.
Everyone hates you.
Not everyone, just, you
No
know,
crews.
management.
Sounds like garden variety paranoia to me.
I just know when people are out to get me.
That changes today,
Seems
right?
as though having female astronauts is normal now.
Can't hear you, Captain.
Right.
Today, you will achieve your goal. And you will not take no for an answer.
Well, he never says no.
The Admiral is a tough old squid.
Who's the
And I'll be
Admiral?
impressed by your courage.
Wait a minute. I think I know the
Yeah, they say
Admiral
he
is.
hates redheads.
Yeah, that's just a rumor.
The rumors are always true.
Or you can keep riding back up and water my plants when I'm on Skylab next month.
So that's called
It's not
Skylab.
that bad, Gary.
Come.
You got a minute?
Can't you see I'm on green at the 9th hole at Pebble
Yeah,
Beach?
they've aged him.
Oh, right.
Or have they unaged him? I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I
Don't
can
know
come
the
back
actor's
on a little-
age.
I'm on the carpet in my office.
I wanted to talk to you about my
That's Cobb
career.
with the ice.
I mean, not my whole career. I was hoping to discuss
Yeah. You want a prime cruise line.
on Pathfinder.
A Pathfinder? You think you're ready to be prime crew on the maiden voyage of America's next generation shuttle?
Yes, sir.
That's
A
what
vehicle
Pathfinder
that
is.
will redefine space travel as we know it and propel this country to Mars and beyond?
Yes, sir.
What the hell kind of
I like
spaceship
ambition
is
in
it?
a pilot. You're
Spacecraft.
one hell of an astronaut.
Thank
Oh,
you, sir.
I'm intrigued. I'm
I'll let
intrigued.
you know when you're ready.
Let you know. You said he'd say that.
Qualified as orbiter pilot, LSAM pilot, lunar prospector, robotic arm specialist, and astroastronomer. And my performance evaluation is consistently in the 95th percentile. I've done everything this program has asked of me.
Why are you holding
Why
him
can't I
back
get a
then?
flight?
He sounds like he
I
knows
don't
what
like
he's...
redheads. Everyone knows that.
You admitting that?
When
He
do I
looks
get my
better
shot?
like that.
Just trust me when I tell you that when you're ready, I'll let you know. Now, I think it'd be a great idea for you to take your foot off my ball. Close the door behind you.
That's a resounding no. Why does he feel he's not ready?
Beginning to hit the road, not only on the moon,
He looks so
but
different.
right here in the good old US of A.
How y'all go to the bathroom in space?
Really? Why do people keep
Let me
asking
tell
that?
you, without gravity,
They gotta use air suction to make sure things go in the right direction.
I'm sure you get this all the time, but would you mind telling us the story of how you saved that poor girl who broke her arm on the moon?
Still can't come out with it. I bet he's sick of this.
Well, it had been a rough week. The base was just a single room. Barely enough space for 3 people to live and work together.
Yep.
We were the settlers and the Russians. They were the Indians. It wasn't an easy place to live. Not a lot of things went wrong. Sometimes the best of plans falls apart on you. The best equipment fails.
Especially humans.
Even the best people.
Yeah.
You
Read
know,
between the
sometimes
lines
it all
there,
just
folks.
Falls apart on you.
Yeah. The weighing on your every word here.
Payload's outside my lane unless it affects crew or crew selection.
I know, but the White House wants this to be a unanimous decision on the part of NASA. We're going to arm it eventually. Why not test that capability on the first flight?
You're going to arm it?
Send a message to the Soviets. They're about to test their own shuttle. She's worried that the second we put weapons on Pathfinder, that it'll become a military asset and outside her jurisdiction.
Well, it probably will be. I don't blame her.
If you can turn Margot Madison around over a bowl of chili, then who am I to stand in your way?
Is that electric cars?
Is that your car?
You like it?
In the 80s?
No more gas stations.
Wow.
You do love your toys.
It's not
60
a toy.
miles.
It's the future.
Yeah, well, how fast
No,
they go.
it isn't.
For some people.
Not for him. What's happened to the bartender? Has she moved on or what? Or... It's a damn sight busier in here now. Oh, no, it could be on crew. I have no idea.
Hi, sweetie. What?
I like how they've just aged everyone just a little bit and updated the
Plus the dividends
80s
from the
fashion.
LPH investment fund that you didn't want me to invest in. I'm going to be able to pay off the second mortgage on the house next month.
Yes, you do.
Do they own the place now? What the hell's going on?
Go hole.
Oh, sorry.
I think they do.
I've been thinking about this all day.
Spaghetti.
Pay that.
Right here.
Another cheese.
You know what he wants.
Come on, Dad. This is real Parmesan.
Dad?
Not those plastic shavings in the green.
Bloody hell.
I can't even shake it over the spaghetti.
I know, it's pretty tough. You want to show you how? Sure.
Am I missing something here? They didn't have a little door, did they?
College catalogs.
Shimmy, did you get a chance to look at that new catalog from William and Mary with that big pond on the cover?
It's always a pleasure to have her on the show. American hero Tracy Stevens.
Holy crap. Damn.
Not much.
Is she still in the program or what?
Great to see you.
Thank you. It's great to be back for a few days and then a last-minute visit to Vegas before coming to beautiful downtown Burbank.
I'm guessing no.
Highlight of your vacation, I'm sure.
It does. When Sam and I were in Vegas.
Sam? Who the hell's Sam?
Wow. That's great. Good for you.
She's getting married?
Oh, my God.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, she ain't there no more.
What the hell, Trace? She's up and get married without even a phone call?
Oh, dear.
She didn't say she was getting married. She kind of sounded loopy.
How do you feel about this? Your mom getting remarried to Sam Cleveland?
Who the hell's Sam Cleveland?
I don't know. It's what she wants to do, I guess.
Did you know about this?
Hell no.
I don't think anyone did except your son. Had the hint.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Take a break.
Not a nice way to find out, though.
It's his problem now. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Spatial. So this is Skylab. Okay.
Hey, morning, Skylab. We got a new Capcom on now with a new crew. Lab coats in the back room are eager and waiting.
I don't know which new people to focus on that we're going to be staying with here.
Seeing some X-ray emission, and the particle count is rising. Image intensity count is exceeding 30. 50. Wait a minute.
What are we looking at? Solar flare?
There is a very large
prominence extending out into the corona. Anything I've ever seen.
Don't they need to know about that?
Listen, the prominence is at least 100,000 kilometers long already, and I'm reading a shower of proton radiation.
JPL just lost contact with the Mariner 14 probe. There was a surge in proton radiation.
Mariner 14 is just inside the orbit of Mercury.
So it can't be related to the flare. It's too fast. Those plasma clouds never move that quickly.
Maybe we've just never seen it move that fast.
What the hell are we talking here?
Get management in here.
Okay, that was unexpected. What does that mean?
Coronal mass ejection verified. This is a major solar event.
I mean, it's well into S5, bigger than anything recorded in our observations.
Focus.
We're looking at a few billion tons of solar material being ejected into space and heading this way.
Is it dangerous?
The Earth's magnetic field will filter out most of the hard radiation,
yeah,
so
but
there's
not
no
up there.
danger to life on Earth.
Their orbit is relatively low, but we need to get them to a more heavily shielded part of Skylab.
Coronal mass ejections usually take days to travel from the sun to the moon.
This hasn't.
But this isn't a CME. This is hard proton radiation. That's deadly. And it's traveling at 30% the speed of light.
Damn!
Which is really freaking fast.
Scram the nuclear reactor, switch to reserve power.
Copy.
Excuse me, nuclear reactors?
30 minutes.
You see what I mean? It's going to take me a while to get used to this. They've thrown us a lot at us in episode 1 here of season 2. They've already got nuclear reactors up there? Are you kidding me? There's... Oh, man, it's going to take a while. I'm sorry if I'm not going to be able to focus on too much right now, because the storyline's being developed very quickly here because they've moved the timeline on, and our pioneers and our original characters from season 1 who were all astronauts are all now in different scenarios and different jobs and different places. The only person who seems to be still be in situ is Margot and Ed.
This is Jamestown Actual to all astronauts. We've got a solar storm coming
Get
in, and
your
it's
ass
a hot
back here.
one. We've got 27 minutes to get to shelter. Find somewhere dark and deep and sit tight. This is going to be a bad one.
Well, great.
Copy that. Shaw, we're in emergency power protocol.
I do like that they've kept focus on this, because obviously at first, when they were first coming up here, they weren't looking at what the sun was doing, the solar flares.
Too far out to make it back.
But anything is better than nothing out there.
Webber, what's your 20?
I'm heading back to base camp.
They even have them now.
2 kilometers away, but it's difficult terrain, so it will take me at least 15 minutes.
There's a lava tube right next to base camp. I'll meet you inside.
I don't know which of these astronauts to focus on. We don't know any of them, do we?
Mark.
Will this delay our expansion plans for the Jamestown base?
Well, probably.
We've never experienced a storm of the severity. Soviets could use this as cover to seize any territory. They'll be in operators.
Yes, sir, I will.
Just got off the horn with NORAD. They're worried about losing our early warning satellites over the Soviet Union. Anything we can do to shield them?
Well, if we had more time, we could try to move them to lower orbits, but for now, I think the best plan is to ride it out.
We can never know why or when the Soviets might decide to launch a first strike. That's why we have to have continuous eyes on the Soviet ICBM fields.
You think they're not watching you?
That doesn't make you feel better.
No, it doesn't.
Recommend go to DEFCON 3. Understood.
Jeez.
Hold on.
Isn't that a
DEFCON
bit
3?
preemptive?
That's 2 steps away from nuclear war. This is a solar storm.
Decide to launch their missiles to keep us from
And
destroying
they also might decide to do nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Why would they do this now?
Let's hope so.
All right, make it safe and lock it down.
How long do you think the storm's gonna last, Chief?
Houston wants us to shelter for at least 3 hours.
Back when this was just a little room, they would have been fine. At least the solar flare never came like this when Ed and Gordy and Trace and everybody else were up here, because they'd have had no protection. But you can prepare, you can have early warning systems. But all the military's doing as usual is just focusing on, oh, we might not know what the Russians are up to.
Contact. 3, 2.
Earth will be fine.
Jamestown Colony, this is Houston. Do you
Everything's
read?
gonna go out. Why are you being even remotely surprised that you've lost communication? You just said that would happen. He's upside down. He's crashed. He's crashed it.
Oh,
Oh shit! Rushing. He's probably hit like a moon rock, and it's
Jamestown Colony,
it's tipped
this is
it.
Houston. Do you read?
Capcom, you can stand down. We're in the thick of it now.
You don't even know it's a solar flare on Earth. Other than the people who are there to actually watch for it.
What was the last head count?
10 minutes ago, 14 are in the shelter and 3 within visual side of the base. Don't worry. Helen will get them inside and buttoned up. Molly's a survivor. Trust me, they'll be okay.
I'm assuming Webbo's the one who's just crashed the thing.
3 more satellites. Jesus.
Joint Chiefs decided to get him in the air in case the Soviets tried to make a move during the satellite blackout.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We staying at DEFCON 3? For now.
Of course, the military will panic and put him in an Air Force One. Here we go.
The storm is seconds from impact. All communication will be disrupted, so you and Wubbo need to remain in place.
Yes, that.
Repeat, remain in place until you have received the all clear from me.
Yeah, well, she's not going to do that because she got a fallen comrade here. Wow. Holy crap. That's terrifying. Seeing what it does when you're somewhere with no atmosphere. Electronics and solar flares don't work well together like oil and
How
water.
much radiation can someone take?
It varies by gender, body weight, but basically a dose of 10 millirems is like getting a chest x-ray.
Yeah.
1,000 rems will kill you in an hour. Each astronaut wears a dosimeter badge. It monitors their exposure to radiation. Your badge is green.
Can't believe they got such
Your
portable
body's
ones.
clean. Your badge is red.
You dead?
Pretty much. Chernobyl was 10,000 plus. She's going for it. She's going for it. Absolutely cool effect. The way they've come up with a way of showing us what a solar flare would do. Damn. The shadowing and everything they've got so good. Well, there's no reason he should be. Unless he ripped his suit. Radiation wouldn't have killed him yet, but what if he's just torn his suit or ripped his airline or something? It's past his head. It's still going to be heavy. You drag him back like that? Complete dead weight? Just depends how much exposure she's had here, look at it. Which begs the question, is there any point in you doing this? Because if you're exposed to too much here, he's dead along with you anyway. I think he might have already been done for. Well, I mean, you've made Battle of the Lava Tube, but introducing us to so much new content on this first episode. They needed to do this. They needed to give us it's bright red action packed at the end here to bring everything back into focus. Oh no. Don't do it, Molly. I know what she's thinking. We're gonna end it there, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, episode 1. I don't know about you guys, but I felt very out of whack, for want of a better word, with what the hell was going on there. There was so much introduction to new stuff and what advances they've made with not only the technology, but how they've advanced as regards their installations. They've got a space station. They've got a full Jamestown base up there. The military wanting to put ordnance and weapons onto this new Pathfinder, which Ed, who's now in, looking, by the way, better than what he did before, weirdly so. They've aged him. Obviously they've had to age everybody. Anyway, come back to that in a minute. They want to put ordnance onto this Pathfinder, which is meant to be, according to Ed, the next generation of spacecraft, shuttle, whatever it may be, that's going to take them to Mars and beyond. So it's something that we probably never saw because ours aren't capable of that. I didn't realise that Cobb was still up there, and now she has... Well, I mean, she saved him, but has she saved him? Or has she just doomed the pair of them? And I know what she's thinking about the two dosimeters that they've got there, that you've got one that's red, his, or one that's green, yours, because you left it there when you went for him. If you swap these out and keep your mouth shut, what good's that going to do? Meanwhile, back on Earth, everyone's panicking because they're losing NORAD and all of their satellites. They're losing their eyes on Russia, but Russia has got the same problem with their satellites over the US. We're jumping the gun here and shoving things to DEFCON 3. The president's on Air Force 1 because they're panicked in case there's a first strike that comes. Need the president still alive. No one, of course, back on Earth is going to suffer anything consequence from this huge solar flare that they've tracked. But it's done massive damage up here. I love what they did to show us the effect of a solar flare passing over the moon's surface. Because I don't know if that would even be remotely accurate, but obviously as a TV show, as someone being in charge as to how the hell do we show this on camera for the viewer to get a sense of the urgency and the like a death wave that is coming to the moon, rather than it just be a completely invisible killer like how radiation normally is for us. That was good how they did that. So Tracy and Gordo, she's moved on. Glamorous lifestyle, she's obviously no longer in the program. Gordo is, well, for want of a better word, not doing very much. Talk shows, events, then finds out that his wife's against possibly getting married on air without so much as a phone call. Nice. There's a lot going on. Margot's got a 20-year award here now. She's properly in charge, and I don't blame her for wanting to want to curtail and stop any sort of weaponry going on this new craft, because they're right, as soon as you do that, you're handing over the reins to it being part, if not fully controlled by the military, which puts her at the back of the queue. It takes her from the top of the pecking order in deciding what happens. So an awful lot going on in the first episode, so please join me for the next one. We might start to get a little bit more, pardon the pun, a bit more of our feet on the ground, because I feel like our pioneers from the first season, Tracy and Cobb and Ed and Gordy and everybody else, we're seeing them in the later stages now, and we've got new astronauts and new crew members and all sorts going on up here. We need to start focusing on some of the newer characters, but they haven't really introduced them to us much yet, just snippets here and there. So join me for that next week. And we'll hopefully get our head around it a bit more. At least I need to. Right then, see you for episode 2 next week. Take care.